Nobody expected Offset to be this loud without even saying much. But after Cardi B's relationship with Stefon Diggs suddenly started falling apart in public, the internet noticed one thing immediately. Offset looked way too entertained. And now people are saying he's been waiting for this moment the entire time. Because while Cardi was out here trying to move on from one of the messiest celebrity marriages in hip-hop, Stefon Diggs allegedly walked right into the same chaos she was trying to escape. What started as a fairy tale rebound quickly turned into cheating rumors, baby mama drama, cryptic social media posts, and a Super Bowl night disaster that had everybody talking. But the craziest part? Offset already hinted this would happen months before everything exploded. When Cardi first introduced Stefon to the world, people said she upgraded. They said she finally found a man better than Offset. But now, after the shocking allegations, the public embarrassment, and the sudden breakup rumors, fans are starting to wonder if Offset was secretly right all along. And trust me, once we break down everything that happened behind the scenes, the timelines, the posts, the rumors, and the reactions from people close to the situation, you'll understand why social media cannot stop talking about this drama right now. The internet is calling this one of the messiest celebrity relationship crashes of the year, and honestly, the timing could not have been worse. 1 minute Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were being pushed online as this power couple everybody wanted to believe in, and the next minute social media was exploding with cheating rumors, side chicks, baby mama drama, and Offset sitting back laughing like he already knew how this story would end. And the craziest part about all of this is that Offset barely even had to say anything. One little "I won" post turned into the biggest "I told you so" moment the internet has seen in months. But to really understand why people are reacting like this, you have to go all the way back to how Cardi and Offset's relationship completely fell apart in the first place. Because let's be honest, Cardi didn't just leave Offset over one argument. Their marriage had been chaotic for years. Public cheating accusations, emotional Instagram lives, apology gifts, breakup rumors, reconciliation after reconciliation. Their relationship became one of the most talked about celebrity marriages online. Every few months, there was another headline. One week, they looked deeply in love. The next week, fans were convinced everything was over again. And through all of it, Cardi kept trying to make things work because they had history together, a family together, and years invested in the relationship. But eventually, the drama became too much even for her. When Cardi officially filed for divorce in 2024, fans actually believed this time was different. People noticed she seemed calmer, more focused, less emotional online. Instead of constantly responding to drama, she started putting more energy into herself, her music, and her kids. For the first time in years, it felt like Cardi was seriously trying to protect her peace. And honestly, a lot of fans respected that. Even people who criticized her relationship with Offset admitted she looked happier staying away from all the chaos. Meanwhile, Offset was still being dragged online as the villain of the story. To the public, he became a guy who lost the best thing he ever had because he couldn't stay loyal. Everywhere people looked, the narrative was the same. Cardi deserved better. Cardi needed somebody more mature, somebody more stable, somebody who wouldn't embarrass her publicly anymore. And that's exactly why social media lost its mind when Stefon Diggs entered the picture. Because from the outside, Stefon looked like the complete opposite of Offset. NFL superstar. Successful. Smooth personality. Confident. More private. More polished. At first, people genuinely thought Cardi had finally upgraded. The internet immediately started comparing them to other celebrity sports couples. Fans were posting edits. Sports pages were posting reactions. Gossip blogs were hyping them up like they were the next big celebrity power duo. And Cardi looked happy. That's the part people keep coming back to. She genuinely looked happy. The early stages of the relationship moved fast too. Once they started appearing together publicly, social media completely locked in on them. Every game appearance became a headline. Every Instagram interaction became a trending topic. Cardi showing support at games made fans believe she was fully invested emotionally. She wasn't acting like this was just some casual rebound situation. People felt like she was seriously trying to build something new after finally escaping years of emotional stress with Offset. And honestly, that's what makes this entire situation hit harder for a lot of fans now, because Cardi openly looked like somebody trying to heal. After everything people watched her go through publicly, fans wanted this relationship to work simply because they wanted to see her finally win for once. That's why when rumors started appearing online, people didn't want to believe them at first. But while the public was celebrating Cardi's new relationship, Offset seemed completely unconvinced from the beginning. At first, he acted unbothered publicly. He even made comments that sounded supportive. But social media users started noticing little moments where his real feelings slipped through. Random tweets, shady captions, small comments that looked harmless until people connected the dots later. It slowly became obvious that Offset did not believe this relationship was going to last. And this is where things started getting messy behind the scenes. Because once Cardi and Stefon became more public together, gossip pages immediately started digging into Stefon's personal life. Old rumors started resurfacing. Stories about other women started spreading online again. Fans began noticing how complicated his dating history actually was. Multiple women connected to him at the same time. Rumors about secret relationships. Stories about trust issues. But because Cardi looked happy, most people ignored the warning signs completely. At the same time, Offset's energy online started changing. Instead of looking jealous, he almost looked amused. Like somebody watching a movie he already knew the ending to. And people didn't really understand it back then. Fans thought he was just bitter because Cardi moved on. But now, after everything that happened later, social media started looking back at those moments differently. One thing about celebrity relationships is that fans notice energy shifts immediately. And people started noticing Cardi's energy slowly changing months before the public breakup rumors exploded. She became less expressive online about the relationship. Less hype, less emotional posting, less couple content. And every time fans asked questions, gossip pages kept posting cryptic rumors about trouble behind the scenes. Then came the cheating allegations. The rumors started quietly at first. Random posts online, anonymous gossip accounts, claims that Stefon was entertaining other women while still publicly being with Cardi. At first, nobody really believed it because celebrity rumors spread every single day. But then more stories started appearing. More women connected to his name. More screenshots. More speculation. Suddenly, social media started feeling like something bigger was happening behind the scenes. And while all of this was building online, Offset stayed weirdly quiet. That silence honestly made the situation even louder. Because instead of publicly crashing out or starting drama, Offset looked like somebody patiently waiting for the internet to catch up to what he already believed from the beginning. And then he finally posted those two words that completely changed the conversation overnight. I won. That's it. No explanation. No context. Just two words. But social media instantly understood exactly what he meant. Suddenly, the internet exploded. People started reposting old interviews, old tweets, old reactions, trying to connect every piece of the story together. Fans started debating whether Offset was being petty or whether he actually saw the situation coming before everyone else did. Some people called him toxic for laughing at Cardi's situation. Others admitted they hated saying it, but they thought he might actually be right about Stefon the whole time. And then came Super Bowl weekend. That's when this entire story went from celebrity gossip to full-blown internet chaos overnight. Super Bowl weekend was supposed to be the moment Stefon Diggs and Cardi B officially became that untouchable celebrity power couple everybody kept comparing to the biggest names in entertainment. The cameras were everywhere, the media attention was massive, and fans were expecting flashy appearances, relationship moments, and picture-perfect energy from the two of them all weekend long. But instead of becoming their biggest flex as a couple, the entire weekend turned into what social media is now calling the beginning of the end. And honestly, people noticed something fell off almost immediately. The first red flag happened before the actual game even started. A reporter caught Cardi backstage and asked her a simple question about Stefon before the Super Bowl. Normally, Cardi is loud, funny, energetic, and expressive during interviews. Everybody knows that. But this time, her energy looked completely different. Cold, short, emotionless. Instead of hyping Stefon up like she had all season, Cardi just quietly said good luck and walked away. No smile, no excitement, no affectionate energy, nothing. The clip spread online instantly. Fans immediately started commenting that something clearly happened behind the scenes because Cardi did not look happy at all. Some people even said she looked angry. Others thought they might have argued before the game. But nobody knew the real reason yet. Social media just knew the vibe felt weird. And once the internet senses relationship tension, people start paying attention to every little detail. Then the game started, and things somehow got even worse. Instead of delivering some legendary Super Bowl performance, Stefon basically disappeared during the biggest game of the year. Fans were expecting highlight plays, big catches, touchdown celebrations, something memorable. Instead, the Patriots got dominated, the offense struggled, and Stefon became one of the most criticized players online by the end of the night. Sports fans were already roasting him before the relationship drama even exploded publicly. But while football fans were dragging him for the loss, gossip pages started focusing on something completely different happening inside the stadium. His baby mama was there, not just there casually either. Front row, posting online, wearing support gear, looking completely comfortable in the spotlight. And once social media realized the timeline involving Cardi and Stefon's other relationships, the internet completely lost its mind. Because people started connecting dates, pregnancies, and rumors all at once. Suddenly, everybody was talking about how messy the entire situation actually looked behind closed doors. Fans started asking the same question everywhere online. How many women were actually involved in Stefon's life at the same time? That question alone created chaos online because every few hours another rumor started trending. One gossip page would post one thing, another account would post something worse, and suddenly the entire weekend became less about football and more about relationship drama surrounding Cardi B. The Super Bowl basically turned into a giant public embarrassment storyline in real time. And the craziest part? Offset was watching all of it happen silently. That made the situation even more uncomfortable for Cardi fans because people already remembered his I won post from weeks earlier. So every new rumor made Offset's post look more and more calculated. Social media started reposting it everywhere again. Memes exploded overnight. People were saying Offset predicted the collapse before anybody else saw it coming. Then another rumor dropped that pushed the internet completely over the edge. Reports started circulating online claiming Stefon allegedly brought another woman around during Super Bowl weekend behind Cardi's back. Some posts claimed the woman had special access credentials connected to the team. Others claimed she had history with Stefon already. And once those stories started spreading, social media basically declared the relationship over before Cardi or Stefon even said anything publicly themselves. Now, to be fair, a lot of these stories were still unconfirmed at the time. There weren't clear receipts proving every single rumor. But in celebrity culture, perception matters almost as much as facts. Once enough people believe something might be true, the narrative takes over completely. And that's exactly what happened here. Suddenly, Cardi wasn't being viewed as the woman who escaped a toxic marriage anymore. People started viewing her as someone who may have walked into an even messier situation. That shift online happened fast, very fast, and then fans noticed another major detail that made everything look even worse. Cardi allegedly left the stadium before the game was even fully over. No supportive girlfriend moment. No comforting Stefon after the loss. No emotional couple pictures after the game. She was just gone. Completely missing from the celebration scenes, locker room footage, and post-game moments fans expected to see. That disappearance immediately fueled breakup rumors even more. Because celebrity couples usually go out of their way to protect appearances publicly during major events like the Super Bowl. Even couples having problems normally fake good energy for the cameras. But Cardi disappearing completely made fans think something serious must have happened privately. Then social media detectives noticed something else. The unfollows. Once fans realized Cardi and Stefon were no longer following each other online, the internet officially exploded. At that point, people no longer viewed the rumors as random gossip. Now fans believe the relationship was actually collapsing in real time, right in front of everybody. Entertainment blogs picked the story up instantly. Twitter Spaces started discussing it nonstop. TikTok creators made breakdown videos analyzing every little detail from the weekend. And throughout all of this chaos, Offset barely had to speak. That's what made his reaction feel so brutal online. Because instead of looking heartbroken that Cardi moved on, he looked entertained watching the entire thing fall apart publicly. And for someone who spent years being blamed for destroying their marriage, social media suddenly started treating him differently for the first time in a long time. Not necessarily as the good guy, but definitely no longer as the only bad guy. That shift in public opinion shocked a lot of people. For years, the internet painted Offset as the worst thing that ever happened to Cardi. But after the Stefon situation started unraveling publicly, some fans began saying something nobody expected to hear online. At least Offset never embarrassed her like this. And once people started making that comparison, the entire conversation around Cardi's relationships changed overnight. Because now people weren't just talking about cheating allegations anymore. They were comparing levels of disrespect, comparing emotional damage, comparing public humiliation. And somehow, incredibly, social media started arguing that Stefon might have made Offset look better by comparison. That's a wild thing to even imagine considering everything Cardi and Offset went through publicly over the years. But that's how bad Super Bowl weekend became. And honestly, Offset probably enjoyed every second of watching that narrative change online. Because without dropping diss tracks, without posting long rants, without doing interviews, he suddenly watched the internet start validating something he hinted at months earlier. The same people clowning him for losing Cardi were now reposting his tweets, calling Stefon trash, and saying maybe he saw the warning signs first. But behind all the memes and internet jokes, people also started realizing something deeper about the situation. Cardi looked hurt. Not angry online for attention, not dramatic for content, actually hurt. And fans started wondering if she ignored red flags because she desperately wanted this relationship to succeed after everything she went through with Offset. Because when someone escapes one toxic relationship, they sometimes end up vulnerable to another person saying all the right things emotionally at the perfect moment. And according to social media, that's exactly what happened here. But the deeper people started digging into Stefon's history, the messier this entire story became. As more details started spreading online, people realized this situation was way bigger than just another celebrity breakup rumor. What made everything hit harder for Cardi B fans was the growing feeling that she may have ignored every warning sign because she genuinely wanted this relationship to be different from what she went through with Offset. And honestly, that's the part that made the internet split into two completely different sides. One side blamed Stefon Diggs for allegedly playing games with Cardi while publicly acting like the perfect boyfriend. But the other side started questioning why Cardi kept choosing men surrounded by chaos in the first place. And once those conversations started, social media became absolutely ruthless. People began digging deep into Stefon's history. Old relationship rumors resurfaced. Stories involving multiple women started trending again. Gossip pages started posting timelines trying to connect pregnancies, relationships, and cheating allegations all at once. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just talking about a failed relationship anymore. They were building a full narrative around Stefon's lifestyle and reputation. And every new post somehow made Offset look smarter. That's the craziest twist in this entire story. Because for years, Offset was the example people used when talking about toxic celebrity relationships. Fans constantly blamed him for embarrassing Cardi publicly, hurting her emotionally, and ruining their marriage with repeated cheating accusations. But now, after everything that happened during Super Bowl weekend, people online started acting like Offset was somehow the lesser evil compared to Stefon. Nobody expected that public opinion shift, especially not this fast. And Offset absolutely noticed it too. That's why his silence became so powerful online. He didn't need to keep posting. He didn't need interviews. He didn't need to defend himself. Social media was already doing the work for him by comparing Cardi's old relationship to her new one. Every meme, every reaction video, Every viral tweet kept repeating the same idea. Offset was messy, but Stefon might actually be worse. And once that idea started spreading, the jokes became non-stop. People posted clips of Offset smiling alongside captions, saying he was somewhere relaxing, while the entire internet proved him right in real time. Others joked that Cardi left one toxic situation just to enter another one wearing designer clothes and sitting courtside at NFL games. Even celebrities started subtly reacting to the situation online without directly naming names. Then the conversation became even more brutal once fans started discussing the timing involving Stefon's children and other women connected to him. The internet started treating the situation like some giant reality show storyline unfolding publicly in front of millions of people. Every hour, there seemed to be another rumor, another screenshot, another theory explaining why Cardi allegedly reached her breaking point during Super Bowl weekend. And the biggest thing people kept focusing on was humiliation, public humiliation, because celebrity relationships can survive a lot privately. Cheating rumors happen all the time in Hollywood. Drama happens constantly. But once embarrassment becomes public on a massive stage like the Super Bowl, things change completely. That's why fans believe Cardi's energy looked so cold before the game even started. Looking back now, people think she may have already known something behind the scenes before the internet caught on publicly. And if that's true, it explains why her vibe looked completely disconnected all weekend. No excitement. No chemistry, no affectionate moments, just distance. And honestly, Cardi disappearing after halftime only made the internet more convinced that the relationship exploded privately before fans even realized it publicly. Because once those breakup rumors started circulating, people noticed Cardi immediately shifting her focus away from relationship content completely. Instead of addressing every rumor directly, she seemed more focused on protecting her peace and staying away from the growing chaos online. Meanwhile, Stefon was getting attacked from every direction at once. Sports fans criticized his Super Bowl performance. Celebrity gossip pages criticized his relationship drama. Social media criticized the rumors involving other women. And suddenly, one of the biggest NFL stars online became the center of one giant internet meltdown. That's why people started saying he lost everything in one weekend. The game, the relationship, the public image. The narrative completely flipped against him almost overnight. But despite all the drama, a lot of fans still felt bad for Cardi more than anybody else involved. Because at the end of the day, people watched her try to move on publicly after years of emotional chaos with Offset. Fans watched her defend her relationships over and over again online while constantly getting clowned by the internet whenever things fell apart. And now, after trying to start fresh with someone new, she somehow ended up right back inside another messy public situation again. That's why some people online started saying Cardi doesn't need another relationship right now at all. They think she needs peace. Because every public romance eventually turns into another viral internet spectacle involving cheating allegations, social media drama, emotional posts, and millions of strangers picking sides online. And honestly, after watching everything explode during Super Bowl weekend, you can understand why fans started saying that. But while Cardi was getting sympathy online, Offset was getting something else completely. Validation. For the first time in years, people stopped only viewing him as the villain of the story. That doesn't mean fans suddenly forgot everything he allegedly put Cardi through during their marriage. Not all. But compared to the chaos surrounding Stefon, people started acting like Offset at least understood Cardi on a deeper level. Some fans even argued that Offset recognized Stefon's behavior early because he saw similarities between himself and Stefon from the beginning. And honestly, that theory spread everywhere online. People said Offset probably recognized game when he saw it. They believe he could tell from the start that Stefon wasn't serious long-term, especially once all the rumors involving other women started resurfacing publicly. That's why his I Won post became so legendary online afterward. To fans, it looked like somebody predicting the ending of a movie before anybody else realized the plot twist was coming. And now, social media can't stop replaying the entire situation back. The tweets, the interviews, The Super Bowl clips, the cold good luck moment, the unfollows, the breakup rumors. Every piece of the story keeps getting reposted because the internet loves dramatic celebrity downfalls, especially when relationships collapse publicly in front of millions of people. And sadly for Cardi, this entire situation became one of the biggest celebrity relationship disasters people have talked about all year. But the wildest part is probably this. Offset never had to fight to win public opinion back. He just waited. He sat back quietly while the internet slowly started changing its own mind after watching Stefon's situation unfold publicly. And whether people want to admit it or not, that's exactly why his reaction hit social media so hard. Because after years of being called the worst thing that ever happened to Cardi, the internet suddenly found somebody they believed might actually be worse. And for Offset, that probably felt like the easiest victory of his life. So now the whole internet is asking the same question: was Offset really right the entire time? Or is everybody just enjoying watching another celebrity relationship crash in public? Because one thing is clear: what started as Cardi B's fresh start turned into one of the messiest celebrity dramas of the year. And social media still cannot stop talking about it. From the cheating rumors, to the Super Bowl embarrassment, to Offset sitting back laughing while everything exploded online, this situation honestly felt crazier than any reality show. But at the end of the day, only the people involved truly know what happened behind closed doors. Maybe Cardi ignored red flags hoping love would finally work out differently this time. Or maybe the internet simply turned a private relationship into public entertainment again. Either way, fans are choosing sides nonstop, and the reactions online are getting wilder every single hour. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Offset secretly predicted this whole situation from the beginning? Or do you think social media is going way too far clowning Cardi over this breakup drama? And if you were Cardi, would you ever trust another celebrity relationship after all this chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is definitely not ending anytime soon. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest celebrity drama, hip-hop news, and viral internet stories the moment they happen.